Hi, this is Ed Baxter with CEO Money, and we're here with Pierre from Blockchain IO. We're going to talk about one of the most, again, I know I said disruption a few times today, but we're really taking it to a whole new level. So Pierre will tell us a little more about the transition between not only the physical fiat world, but also the crypto world like we've never seen before. Pierre, thank you for joining me today.
Thanks for having me.
When you think about blockchain, when you think about blockchain IO, you guys are doing something real revolutionary when you think about marrying areas where typically people aren't married. How did you do it? How did you even think about doing this?
So we started early. Back in 2011, we started with the fiat exchange to serve the primary need of Bitcoiners at the time. That was buy Bitcoins, sell Bitcoins easily with their fiat currencies. For us, it was the euro because we are based in Paris. But since 2015, we've seen this expansion towards cryptocurrencies and blockchains. So it's evident today that we need to add this crypto exchange to the portfolio of services. And we have this wonderful URL that we registered in 2012 that we felt was appropriate for the crypto exchange. So that's why we are launching blockchain.io. And we'll be launching first with a selection of coins, and pretty soon we intend to add decentralized settlement as that's an expectation of the customers now, to be able to trade, have the option to trade without giving up the custody of the coins.
Wow! So are you saying with blockchain.io, are you housing the coins themselves, or they housing the coins in their own wallets, or are you just facilitating the transaction?
We'll have the traditional offering of the exchange, that is, we get the custody of the coins. For most users, that's probably the way they want to trade. And for those more cautious users, I would say that they want to keep the custody of the coins, they understand atomic swaps, then we'll offer that option probably next year.
When you think about what you guys are doing, when you look at the fiat world, whether it's the dollar, the euro, the yuan, or whatever currency there is, you have the ability to transact business from the crypto world to that world, and that's pretty complicated. So when you think about how do you perfect something like that and make it work on a day-to-day basis?
Well, the fiat exchange is really the most difficult part because you have to adapt to the banking APIs and to regulations that are changing constantly. Almost every year we have new rules coming up, and every year the banks are asking us sometimes to renew the KYC procedure. So it's only getting worse as time goes on because of all sorts of issues like homeland security.
And money laundering, all the above
exactly,
the banks look for.
Exactly. So the fiat exchange is still a nightmare from a friction standpoint. There are lots of friction between the old world and the new world, and for us it's really refreshing to. We're very enthusiastic about the launch of blockchain.io as a crypto exchange, because that's really where we can add value for our existing customers. So the existing customers will be able to log into blockchain.io with their Paymium identity, the identity that they built painfully with the AML KYC, and new customers can join in with just an ID and a selfie.
When you look at what the company actually does for companies who are looking to do blockchain offerings or create their own cryptocurrency, talk about how you guys facilitate or create the platform you created to allow them to do that.
That's a good point. We intend to list tokens for ICO issuers. We intend to facilitate their projects by offering this primary market that they need to get liquidity. So we'll do some review on the tokens, because we don't want to list tokens that will just collapse. We want to be with serious projects, and we will facilitate them by listing the token, facilitating the campaign by offering the collection platform for contributors, and then the exchange on blockchain.io.
Well, the one thing that sets you apart there is not just the listing and the help, the assistance in creating the token, but also being able to transfer that token revenue or income or money, whatever you want to call it, back into the fiat currency of the host country.
That's right.
That's what makes you different. Would
yes.
you agree with that?
Yeah, absolutely, because we are also working on adding more fiat currencies to Paymium. So people will be able to sell their token for instance, for Bitcoins, and then sell the Bitcoins on the fiat exchange for dollar or Japanese yen or Korean won, because we are adding these fiat currencies on Paymium this year also. So we have these two projects in parallel, blockchain.io and adding more fiat to Paymium.
For the non-Bitcoin based currency, you're actually using Bitcoin as the mother currency to go back to the
absolutely.
fiat?
We keep Bitcoin as the anchor because we won't have zillions of trading pairs at the beginning for blockchain.io. So we need this BTC Bitcoin as a transfer mechanism between blockchain.io and Paymium for fiat exit. But that could change over time as we perhaps there will be more trading pairs on blockchain.io. So perhaps at some point we'll have also ethers as a mechanism to exit in fiat. But clearly the liquidity and the trading pair in fiat with a given token, for instance, it's probably not a good idea because you'll have zero liquidity in fiat because there are so much friction on the fiat side. So for a token to exist, it's only possible on a crypto exchange, not on a fiat exchange. That's why we need this transfer mechanism. So at the beginning, Bitcoin only, and then probably over time, Ether and perhaps one or two others.
Okay. Maybe a Litecoin or something like that.
Yeah, like
looking. You mentioned earlier about the fact that you're based out of France, and there's differences going on with what's happening in Brussels, what may be happening in Estonia or someone else. There's all these different varieties of effects you have as far as governments and how they look at the crypto world. Do you see the governments at some point becoming much more friendly to this process?
Today, the game is still, arbitrage between all these jurisdictions for those that are more Bitcoin friendly, because there are huge differences in the way they approach. For instance, a smaller country obviously has much less risk in going all in on cryptocurrencies compared to a very large economy like Germany or France, where the impact of changing even a little bit the current system is obviously much greater. So smaller countries, in my view, have everything to win by going all in on cryptocurrencies, and that's true even in the Eurozone. It's also even more true for smaller countries outside of a big, currency zone. Yeah, and it's clearly we'll see changes. I think in the next few years, the mindset is going to change. I'm sure.
For blockchain.io, you're already positioned to take advantage of that more so than some of the other companies we've seen. Now, do you plan to create your own ICO for blockchain.io that you'll use to facilitate some of this?
It's possible. It's possible that we go with an ICO. It's under consideration at this point. We are not announcing any of that for now.
Perfect. Well, Pierre, thank you very much.
Thanks for having me. It was a pleasure.
I appreciate you educating me about the Eurozone, and we look forward to talking to you again.
Thanks.
Head back to CEO Money. We'll be back with more content later.